Hello, everybody. This is Nate the Man here, coming at you from Molten, my base here, on in this land of Canada, on the Labdistic. I'm here by myself. Mostly just it's time. So for those of you who are unaware, I am the most powerful man in this server, or the most powerful person rather. So therefore, it is up to me and my partner, Strawberry Pie, to cause a bit of malarkey, I would say. So far, it's been too peaceful. I'm not okay with that, so it's time to fix that. My lovely drugstore, my beloved drugstore, in fact, is right here. Minecraft. Uh, Truly, a thing of beauty. So here we have my collection of items, along with a little, my little netherite ingots that I have here. Truly, it really is just a vibe inside here. You know, we got little prices here. We got all sorts of pots, as you can see here. We even offer any potion and splash variety if upon request, for no additional fee. Truly, it is a thing of beauty. And we have lovely bamboo farms, and we have these two cabins here. These two cabins, you see. It is it's really something. I don't quite like these cabins. They feel like something they need to go. Cause I spent my first few nights in these before I moved to Molten, and I feel like they symbolize something I can't quite describe. We have our little copper weight dumbbell, so someone slips, falls on this size here. Yeah. I have the community wheat farm. My private wheat farm is better, but they try. And this one, this freaking, this house, I hate it even more than that one. This house right here truly is just very desolate. It tells me what to do. Oh, I have to say that. Yeah, this is what I have to say to put your flower here. I just can't with them always trying to tell me what to do. I burn them alive. How I hate them. We have a lovely access to the nether portal. This one just goes to the roof, admittedly. And here, so my biggest things. I've extended this cow farm from its humble beginnings, just for the mere fact that I need leather for books, because things like this and that don't happen without interference. And here's the place that I need to destroy and burn to the ground. And they are harboring demons in here that have such capabilities that even myself do not understand. It's these things inside this hideous green and pink. I hate them so much. I do not quite enjoy them very much at all. And this house must get destroyed. You have the horse here. Presumably what they ride in hell. Another pickaxe that could tear this down in 2 seconds. I don't, for the mere fact that peace is not good for business. But sooner or later, but then again, neither is mass extinction and the collapse of society. So, and here is the demon himself, Spooky Kia.
Why are you talking about me like that?
Because Spooky Kia, you know what you're doing. You're still harboring those villainous, destructive things inside of that massive palace of yours. They are going to cause the end of this society. And while all of you are burning, I will be hiding in a cave somewhere, counting up my cash, and watch the world burn behind me. Is that clear?
You seem like you have some trauma.
Oh, how little you know, Spooky Kia. I've seen the destructive capabilities. These things you're harboring inside that castle of yours. They destroyed where I last lived. They destroyed my last town I was a part of. And I'm not gonna make the same mistake again. Not going to happen.
I mean, there's one right there. You're not killing it.
I do my utmost. They contain valuable pearls indeed. They help. They help run my empire.
So, what's wrong with mine?
Yours in particular have some kind of energy to them I've never seen before. I can't quite put my finger on it because it's just so unlike them. These ones that you're harboring.
But they're just children.
They're not children. They're posers.
They're my kids.
They are not. If that truly is the case, then you're an even bigger threat than I realized. I saw you as just someone.
Well, they're kind of adopted, but we don't really call them that.
Okay. So what you're saying is you see, you don't know what I've seen. You don't see the destruction they've caused, but you're like, let's just take them in.
Well, yeah, I lived in hell for a long time, and a lot of people are orphans down there. So I figured
that there's a reason. There's a reason you brought these things back. They're not even from this dimension.
They are from this dimension.
Hell ain't here.
I'm gonna pick them off the street.
You should have left them.
Oh.
And look at that thing just sitting there.
Well, I don't really understand your trauma, but my children have been nothing but kind and sweet.
They've killed you multiple times.
Yeah, they just get a little cranky.
Yeah, if that's how they feel when they're mildly upset, how are they gonna react when something catastrophic happens? They're gonna
like what?
I'm not entirely sure. But soon enough.
So you're not feared by my presence, but you're scared of theirs?
No. I do not fear hookers such as yourself. I know your type. You are not one to be afraid of. However...
I am super scary.
You are not intimidating to me. I've hunted many like your kind, and I will continue to. However, seeing as how you decided you need to rule over us, I'll let you live for a little while.
I'm not ruling anybody. It's just.
And yet you feel the need to have a massive palace overlooking.
See, now I'm not making fun of your house.
You don't know what my house is. I live in Molten, but you don't know. You don't know. You don't get it. Sit there in your massive mansion being like, oh, I love you, with these exotic trees that ain't from anywhere from around here. And you have the audacity to tell me I'm not ruling over anybody.
I'm not.
Evidently.
If I was ruling over people, I think I would be in complete power and have so much on me. But I am currently naked right now.
I know.
No armor. Unlike you.
You're for the dirt past, that's for sure. But look at that.
What does that mean?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would actually like to know. I think we start off on the wrong foot, Nathan, man.
I concur, Suki Kia. We have started off very uncolloquially. May I offer you a beverage of sorts to try and ease the tension between us two? Come with me. Come with me.
Okay.
Come with me to my shop, and let's have a talk about some of the.
I'm kind of scared you're gonna like poison me, but I don't really get affected by that.
Again, my poison is to be saved for when forces collide, not for now. I have a powerful man has no use for poison unless his power is in threat, and my power is currently not in threat. It is not a concern to me.
I see. Oh, this is your shop? I did not realize.
Yes, welcome to my shop. Obviously, we have prices here if you want to encounter, but this is just a little sum between us. So, here. First one on me. So do tell me why you decided to bring those things out of hell itself and into our polite little cozy town.
Like I said earlier, they're not from hell. They're from this place, Canada. They're from Canada.
Are they now?
They're orphans. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And why do you feel the need to harbor them exactly?
Well, I kind of know what it's like to be alone, so I didn't want anybody else to feel that way.
And how do you know what that feeling is like?
See, I'm not going to dig into your personal life, so you're not going to dig into mine.
Is that how it's going to be?
Yeah, because because I just feel like it's fair if you speak with me with that attitude, that I shall speak with you with the same intentions.
Okay. Okay. I see how you do. So, what would happen if someone destroyed said children of yours? What do you think would happen, first of all?
Wouldn't you like to find out?
Oh, I already know the answer. I wanted to see if you did, though.
I know the answer as well. So, you're kind of asking a pointless question here.
Glad to see, despite you harboring these things, you are not stupid, which is good to see. I'd rather have someone with a notable intelligence and have those things in captivity. Now that we have them, we can't really get rid of them, because otherwise, well, let's just say things go down, but at the very least, just don't let them out. They can't be killed, and we can't kill them either. The same effect. Right now, even though I'm firmly against you having brought them here at all, I think the best course of action would just be to let them sit there, waste away, hopefully.
Well, they're going to have a good life. They're living with me. I'm their caretaker.
Well, you know. That's
yes.
truly a lovely relationship, indeed.
Okay, sure.
But what are your hopes here? What do you hope to accomplish?
With keeping my children?
Mm-hmm.
To raise them and have a good life, the life I never had.
I can understand that. I do get that. Do you? But once they're out of your care, what do you think they're going to do?
Probably live a normal, healthy Enderman life. I don't know how Endermans grow up to be.
Sounds like you have some let's just say research to do.
I don't really care what they do. As long as they just come visit once a month. I don't really care.
You hope your children come to visit once and twice a month.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that?
Soon you'll be 60 years old.
Oh, you're funny, Nathan Man.
I have experience.
Experiences. Would you like a pickle?
I had a thing down in Winnipeg for a while, but oh boy, these are real. Where did you acquire some of this?
Coral Reef. I have 9 pickles left.
Wow, truly impressive.
I like pickles. It's not really impressive.
I have found use for these inside my life. I will not lie to you.
That's a weird way of putting how you like pickles into words.
Oh, please. I didn't mean it in the vulgar way. Now you.
Well, I wasn't saying it in the vulgar way. Unless you mean it in the vulgar way, then I mean
if you want to take it down that route, I can talk about that route. But let's just say you end up in the hospital either way. So.
What? What are you talking about?
It's a long story, not a pretty one either.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah. Better not think about it. I'm gonna be honest.
I won't.
Okay, that's great. So, I see you admiring the hell light. I have it in here as a reminder. I am not entirely sure, but I'm hoping that it helps keep the shop alive in uncertain circumstances that we find ourselves in today.
Are we in uncertain circumstances? I mean, it's snowing outside.
As peaceful as it may seem, there's a dark place waiting for all of us at the end of all of it. I just hope that none of us have to fear it, because I'm already living it.
What, death? Or like...
No, what? Death is not quite the word I would use. Your conscience lives, but you do not.
True, I am alive.
Indeed you are. Considering that you came from hell itself, I'd say you making it all the way here and still being alive is quite the accomplishment.
I mean, I guess.
Not many creatures escape it. Most of them can't acclimate, especially to a harsh climate like here. Most of the time, it's a extreme form of culture shock. So not only have you survived that, you've acclimated quite well, and have somehow found yourself with some semblance of responsibility as well. Truly admirable.
I used to be a scientist.
Oh, what did you study?
It wasn't for very long, so I don't really remember much, but had to camouflage to fit in with everybody, so I know a few things about these humans.
We are a very strange breed, I will admit.
I do agree, but some of you are quite sweet and caring and kind. Some, however, are not the same.
What do you think of some of the other residents that live in these parts? I've only met a few, but what do you think about them?
Who in specifically?
I'm referring more to the one that hermit that likes to live in their hut. A little tent just sitting, the little tent just sitting on the lake,
Oh, I don't really know anything about them.
They are a mysterious kind, because I've seen them on a few separate occasions. They showed me this large, it looked like an ostrich egg of some kind. It was large and black. It was truly stunning. They also had.
Well, you may have to ask them about that.
I will, because and I can only imagine what powers contained inside there. It truly is stunning. I asked them about how they've been doing in terms of equipment. Turns out that they've been going through it lately. They've not been they're doing has not been very profitable, as it turns out. I guess that's
Oh, no
why.
bueno.
I guess that's why they're living in a tent right now.
Well,
Would
don't
make
you live in
sense.
a cave?
Cave is a derogatory term I don't use to describe my home of molten. It is more. I consider it more of an underground complex, truly, because cave implies dark and dingy and, well, just kind of
Well,
sucky. But molten, it's
well,
clean
I
and
haven't been to
pure.
your house, so I don't know anything about it.
And 'tis will remain that way until further notice. For now, as
Yeah.
far as everyone besides my partner is concerned, this is my home, where I can sit here slinging my product as much as I want to. It's a great product. I have traveled far and wide to gather up the necessary ingredients. I have found such exotic plants in order to produce these products
That's
here.
a fancy way of saying you went to HE double hockey sticks.
Well, sometimes in order to slay an enemy, you have to get a really big stick. So, I it truly, it's not a fun experience to go to hell. I've been many times. I do my
I live
utmost.
there.
Well, don't we? We live in the cold equivalent of hell. Because even in this climate, hell would probably freeze over, much like the water in the lake. But I've been to
Well, you get
hell,
used to it after a while.
admittedly.
It's
Like,
actually a pretty nice day today.
it finally stops snowing. I don't like the snow. It's all cold and powdery, makes the crops
Ever
freeze.
feel what it's like when it rains lava and HE double hockey sticks?
No, I have a product that helps suppress my nervous system and cause me to not burn. For that very reason, I have so many of those. That's my most produced product, mostly because of supply and demand mostly. Turns out people don't do like being able to swim in the lava there, but I do my utmost to avoid it. But when I do, I do prefer to be prepared.
Makes sense.
I don't like burning alive. I don't know if that's a very big surprise to you or not. So, oh. But please, also, I noticed something the other day. I saw you getting pretty friendly with this
Did you?
with this spicy cookie character. What can you tell me about him?
You don't know anything about. You've never met Spicy?
Well, only in a work setting. I hired him to help me find certain products, but I don't really know much about who he is. I only know what services he can
Ah,
provide.
Spicy, my love.
You married?
Spicy is the greatest person ever, and I love them. They're so kind and sweet. They're a fantastic builder. Oh,
Is that so?
they're really just fantastic.
Well, his work certainly is exemplary. I will agree with you there. He was able to find this bastion of fire that I was unable to locate. So he is quite the impressive man. I will not lie to you.
He is something, all right.
Indeed. Also, what do you think? Not this house, but this house. This house over here. What do you think of it?
It's
Because
a it's a house.
I just feel like it's impeding progress. This house in particular. I feel like we
What's
can
wrong
do
with this house?
something about it. Just truly rubs me the wrong way. As I think, just it really is just something's wrong with it. There is some kind of force in this house that just is not sustainable. What that is, I'm not entirely sure. But I feel like this house, more than the other one, needs to go sooner rather than later, for the sake of preserving our society. If you don't want to, I am more than capable, but I'll leave that decision up to you. I trust you here. This house.
I don't understand. I think it's a nice house. I don't see anything wrong with it, but
It's appealing
apparently
to the
you have more
eyes.
magic than I do. Because you freaking sense whatever goes on in your little head.
I will not lie. Spending hours upon hours trapped inside of Molten, I've warped into someone who is not to be crossed. But I've also learned important lessons on when things need to get destroyed. This house, while it looks good on the surface, is bad for the soul.
I still don't understand what you're coming from, but are you like a spiritual person? Do you do yoga? Why would you do that?
I do tend to do yoga. Yes, it help me be more intact with the spirits that are around here.
I can tell. Why are you breaking that?
I hate the ice. I want this to be a
You
place.
live in ice.
I live in cooled lava. Quite the opposite. There's a reason I named my base
Cooled
Molten
lava.
after all. I wish that we could be just on a desert island. Just us, the seagulls, nice and peacefully drinking pineapples, just having just a joyous time. However, we have found ourselves up here in Nunavut, Canada.
Pineapples.
So, how unfortunate is that?
Like, I mean, why don't you just go find a desert and live there?
I don't like the desert in particular, but I do like the warmth. So, it's a love-hate relationship with the desert. Sand, it gets everywhere and causes problems with the machinery. Problems that I'd really rather not have occur. However, on the same time, I cannot find another place. That's the only place that reminds me of the warmth of Molten. Unlike the cold, desolate wasteland we have up here. That's why I don't have a house up here, admittedly. But this is where most of you all live, so hence my shop in the back of the bamboo. And of course the cow farm I have used so well. And of course the strange nose things that live inside there that somehow just always have something
Okay,
in stock.
where are you from that you don't know what a villager is?
Because they don't speak a language I have ever heard. I can't communicate, but
Well, yeah, they don't speak a language, but like
I
they're still, like,
show
people.
them emeralds and they just kind of throw things at me. I'd recommend staying away from the spiders the size of you, by the way. Just some friendly advice.
I see that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna go get a weapon. Let's see what I got in my testy westies. Ooh,
Protection is always
no,
needed,
I don't want that.
especially in these night times. I'm watching as the spiders burn and the lava flows.
I feel like you should live in hell with all this lava talk.
It's not the lava I'm after, it's the warmth of it. Hell has the warmth, but not the atmosphere I'm looking for. It doesn't tickle my fancy as much as it should, likely.
Tickle your fancy.
Or pickle your fancy as a sea pickle would say. Yes.
Think I'm a sea pickle?
Not you. However,
I was about to say,
I am not calling you a sea pickle. That is it is unproductive towards progress. Childish name calling is not needed around here. Instead, what is needed watching the lava slowly melt away all the ice until it is all light and nice and warm and safe for those demons you are harboring in your tower. They cannot
Asshole.
stop the progress of the warmth and the fire. They may have been born in it, but they cannot stop it. Look at this. Nice warm stone. In complete contrast.
You are concerning me. And I've seen weird people in hell. Like,
most people
weird
do
people.
are concerned. It's hard to imagine.
Oh, and I am going to die. Ooh, ouch.
Not on my watch, you're not.
I feel... I'm about to feel a lot of pain. Ow.
Oh, good heavens. I would recommend coming and gathering your items before carrying on, but I'm not your mom.
Why do you speak like you're in, like, a 1950s film?
Because that's always where I've wanted to be.
Do you not know the lingual of the new language?
I understand the new language quite well. However, due to my time in isolation with just me and my partner, you tend to just develop certain habits that don't make a whole lot of sense to the regular society. You know. Look at them.
I guess that makes sense. Whew.
Look at these. Look at these fine archers. They have turned to fighting each other instead of me. Truly a metaphor for how I prefer to cause things.
It's not a metaphor, just one hit the other.
But watching my enemies hit each other means that I don't have to do it later. It saves me the time and the headache of having to worry. And truly that's what we're after. Not having to worry. Just a carefree beach vacation all the time. Now doesn't that sound wonderful?
Not particularly. I kind of like the cold.
I guess when you are raised in hell, the warmth does not seem as appealing. I've spent much time in it, but then again, the atmospheres are wrong. There's something in there that just breeds something that I just cannot get behind. Look at that spider. Look at him burn. Look at the zombie. It's a quick, painful death. While hypothermia, slow and painful. It's not what I would want.
Are you okay?
You're the one that has multiple arrows in their chest. I should be asking you that question.
You also have multiple arrows inside of you right now.
Well, they're not. They have.
I mean, I'll live. I can't really die because I come from that place, and only a certain type of thing can actually kill me.
I have tried cleansing you with holy water yesterday. That didn't work out very well, evidently.
I told you it didn't work.
Yeah, I've learned that that's a myth from now. Obviously. But, oh well.
Well, it works on some demons, just not me.
You're a special kind, one that's been able to adapt. That's always been how I felt, just adapting to whatever's happening. I think we can relate there. While I am from around here, I have never considered this place where I belong. However, for the sake of just convenience, I choose. I wouldn't step in that if I were you. But watch.
It's like taking a warm bath, though.
You ever seen a geyser or hot spring before? You ever been in one?
I have not.
There's a sense
I've only lived in Canada.
That's true. This land is not filled with
and
them.
Another place, but we don't talk about the other place.
Stay away from those who make you sad. But then you just see there's a sense of happiness that happens when you are surrounded by the warm water. It just makes the soul feel at ease. Makes everything seem just a little bit easier. Even when it in times couldn't be harder. It's like magic in a way.
Ooh, I can do something magical. Hold on, stay right there.
I won't move. Don't
Are you ready?
I am definitely ready.
Watch this. Ta-da!
Ah! Oh my gosh. Okay. True, that is quite the scale you have there, indeed. Now, where did you learn how to do all that?
Killer. Stop. Where did I learn to do what?
I heard someone say kill. What intonation?
Sorry, I have a bad cough. What did you say? I'm sorry.
The voices in my head are telling me to kill. I don't know why.
Maybe.
How strange.
Anyways, what'd you say? Did you like my magic trick? Was it fun?
Please, where did you learn such magic?
I was kind of born with that.
Wish I was born with the natural capabilities to teleport. Me, I use these dropped by those hell spawns you keep. They allow me. They get me around well enough. I do my utmost not to use them.
That's interesting. I did not know that. Ooh. So they really are my children. They have my capabilities. I have other capabilities too, but we only need those when absolutely necessary.
Indeed. I do my utmost not to use them, for the power of teleportation is not one to be wasted away in petty arguments, but rather intense brawls that require a quick and hasteful escape. So.
Strange.
What do you think?
How did you ever meet Strawberry anyways?
Me and Strawberry, when I was first moving out to this small little settlement you all have up here, Strawberry was the one that welcomed me here. And for something about her, she makes me feel good. And she's very trustworthy in my eyes. Because we have started a partnership. And it's one forged in molten itself. Not the base, but the actual lava. We've been through quite a few adventures in this land. And me and Strawberry, we've connected in a way. She's more than a business partner. I consider her a friend of mine. And a loyal ally.
Do you consider me a friend?
I'm not quite sure what I consider you at this point in time. I definitely have taken a liking to you in the past few minutes, but I don't know. There's something about seeing a demon in water just causes me concern in a way.
Would you like me to be in lava?
No, because I don't want you to burn alive either, admittedly, but it's not advantageous to burn, in my experience. Have you ever seen someone with severe burns? Sometimes the skin, it practically melts right off, and then you're just left with a bunch of muscles and bones connected, the nervous system having long been fired away. It's disturbing to see in action. And it's not an experience I would wish upon anyone, even those hell spawns in there.
Hey, I lived in there.
Did you now?
I did.
Mm-hmm. There's a variety of these. I have one down in molten myself, primarily for collecting, of course, resources to make these things, but do you ever feel like
Anyways,
do Do you ever consider moving back to hell just because it's where you grew
No,
up? Mm,
no.
good to see.
I never went. I never want to go back. But sometimes I just, yeah.
I understand. I come from a very far distant land, ruled by a very corrupt ruler indeed. It was it was not what I consider a fun time, admittedly. It was a it was a very
Oh, I used to have problems.
as did I. It was the ruler of the land was corrupt, and then one day, a gang of barbarians came and blew everything up.
Corrupted.
Yep, it was the land of corruption. It was a dark place. It was a dark time for me. But I packed up my bags and moved out of those grasslands. And somehow I stumbled myself here. Found myself a base of operations, and all of a sudden, it's become my home. I don't want to ever go back to the kingdom of corrupted. It was well, I mean, it's in shadows now, even so there wouldn't be much of me to go back to. Just some ruins and my lovely bee farm that was untouched by the barbarians. Those bees meant everything to me. They survived the attack, thankfully, because it was out far away from the town. But I still miss them. I never got a chance to free them, as I had to evacuate the land. I can only hope they somehow managed their way out of their enclosure before I left. I hope that one day I'll be able to reunite with them. Hopefully they found their way up north. Those bees, I miss them. I do.
That's how I feel about my children if they ever leave.
It's a terrible experience to lose something you thought was your child, to lose something, to lose something you thought was your friend. I had many allies back home, but their houses got wiped out. We went separate ways, and it didn't really work. And that's why I was so shocked when I found those signs over here saying not Spronty. That name, it reminds me of the past. Very faintly, I'll admit, but
Have you met Spronty?
once. It was a quick snowball exchange in this land. But before we came here, we worked together. We were bounty hunters for no less than a few hours. I don't know him very well, admittedly. However, it does seem like he has quite the section of land designated that can't be his, as it clearly emphasizes the not. So, oh well. I can only imagine
Oh,
what
you
kind
don't.
of building we have up here. I don't know what on earth this is trying to be, but
I don't know what this is either. It just kind of appeared one day, and I'm not touching it.
in my opinion, it's like a viewport almost. It's like a good place to just kind of look at the land around, just really take it all in. If this place is ever to go up in shambles, this
Oh, ah, 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 ah.
what is the concern?
Reaper.
Oh, good
Oh
heavens!
man.
Run away! I got this. That's why I have L arrows on me. There we go. It's okay. Those I'm not quite. I've been studying those forever. They have a very short fuse, no pun intended. They're quick to destroy. There is no. I'm not convinced they have any cognitive thought of any
Yeah, we
kind.
just have kind of pigs in our world. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows where where those creepers came from. I've long wondered what kind of entity could have created something like that. I still don't know, admittedly. I hope to one day find out, though. Because I'm gonna go up to whoever decided that those things need to be let out of whatever lab they came from. And just really show them what all we've been through. Look at that. We have a clay deposit right underneath our feet. Isn't that lovely?
I guess.
You know what clay is used to make. Clay is what our very...
Bricks?
Exactly. And what are buildings made out of? Think of a secure area. Or secure building. It's made out
I mean,
of...
I've read The Three Little Pigs.
Exactly. A great example. The two of, I believe, of wheat and sticks both fell down, but the one standing was the hardened clay, the brick. It is to show, don't skip out on the basic things. I try to apply that myself. Like, you think, oh, I really don't need to do that, but security-wise, you never know when the metaphorical wolf could show up. It could just be suddenly there's an explosion. But if your house is made out of obsidian, all of a sudden you don't really care. But a weaker material like wood.
Is your house made out of obsidian?
Only the flooring of molten is made out of obsidian. It's really just cold lava. It helps keep me warm at night. When I rest my head finally, after a long week's worth of work, I can just sit there and enjoy the warmth the cool lava has provided. While I can step on it. It is still it's how I know it's mine. Meanwhile up here, nothing is tamed. It's all wild. And while we build houses, even well-built houses, that still nature can show up anytime and take it over. That's why I live in where I do. Because trees cannot suddenly decide that they don't like my cave. I decide when my base goes down. Not nature, not evil beings from hell. I do. And that's why I live where I live. As well as the added comfort of living down there.
So, do you like music?
I do. I've been long hunting for a CD known as Pig Step. It is said to have a truly bashful and entertaining tone, but I have yet to find it, as it is very difficult to obtain, as I've learned. But one day, whenever I have it, I will play it and find out what all the fuss is about. What in the dilly? Oh, these night flyers. Did you just blow up the community wheat farm?
What's it mean? It was a creeper.
Ow. How do you think those cows came to be? From me feeding them that wheat. That glorious yellow grass.
All right, man. You need to stop with the sus stuff. You know, you're saying some really homoerotic stuff.
I am not the gay man. Many have accused me of being such.
I didn't say you were a guy. I just say you were saying a homoerotic stuff.
I'm gonna need you to translate that into common folk language.
Aren't you like an oldie? Shouldn't you know what that means?
I should. And there's no doubt I'm the oldest member of this area. However, I don't always know. I don't have all the answers. I like to think I do, but I don't. I'm just as much a fool as anyone else. However, at least I'm not the one destroying the community farm. So,
It's okay to be gay, you know. You know that, right?
I understand that, and I have no qualms with them. However, I myself am not. I have been single my whole life, probably because I spent so much time studying up about those weird things you have in your tower. And that probably doesn't help my
My
chances.
what? My Enderman?
Yeah, Enderman. I just
Why are you talking about my Enderman again? You're really obsessed with them.
trust me. They're more obsessed with me than I am with them. You may not believe that now, but you'll come to
I
learn.
don't believe that now.
You will one day. Well, one day,
Probably not.
all of this will make sense to you. But that day is not today. It may not even be in this lifetime. But at one point, you will figure it out. And when you do, I would like to be there and be able to say confidently that I did in fact tell you so. Because you just blew up the wheat farm a second time.
He was in my face.
Then you run away.
I was fishing.
You don't fish in the
Oh
wheat
man, he blew up.
fields. The wheat fields produce
Like,
subpar fish. The best fish you'll find
that's
is
all I need.
you don't want a sub. Would you rather have a block of gold or a block of rotten gold?
There's no such thing as rotten gold.
Yeah, I thought so too until my machine collapsed because of improper wiring. Turns out gold can rust if given the right circumstances and chemicals. I wish I found that out before my life's work got destroyed, but you know it's fine. The bees were fine. These night flyers, I just cannot with them. I don't even know if they're entirely
You don't
real.
like the phantoms?
No, I don't. They are quite bothersome, in fact.
Then maybe we should eat.
I I do my utmost not to sleep in random houses, but I suppose you are right. While it's out here
Well, it's
snowing.
not random, but like, you know what I mean. Hold on, I gotta go. I gotta go to my bed.
Yes. Away to your bedroom you go. Next
For
to
a good
your
night. For a good night slumber.
have a nice slumber, will you? I spent some time in the UK. My accent's by no means good, but I do my utmost. What is so comedic?
Sorry. I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing at something.
Don't let the creeper destroy the cows now.
I wasn't paying attention. Oh goodness heavens!
What now? Oh my gosh. I only have so many projectiles.
Then don't use them. LOL.
But these creepers cannot just stay on our land unimpeded. For they must die. Because if we don't kill them, they will have no hesitation about killing us. And if it's between them or me, it's gonna be me. We must now head over to our home monster spawner. Must obtain more of my arrows. Without arrows, without them, we have nothing. All we have is just
Get
critters.
going.
Must acquire arrows to fend off these creepers. Because with creepers, there comes destruction and chaos. And in the chaos, the Endermen will strike. When we're at our weakest, they'll pummel us into the ground. Kind of freezes underneath
I have
the
some
ice
trauma
cubes.
with Endermans.
Would you like to know?
Actually, would.
It was on my ways back from the corrupted kingdom. I stumbled upon this stronghold of sorts, and I decided, why not? Why shouldn't I just head inside of this portal I saw? It looked like it was missing some circular object that I needed. And lo and behold, once I placed some of mine that looked similar enough, I was able to go in, and then this dragon, it was massive, the size bigger than seemingly this entire land. It flung me. It and its entire army of Endermen just tried to go after me. Just threw me into this void. They picked me up and they carried me to my doom. I didn't quite like them.
Oh.
They are the reason. That's how I know they come from a dimension, not hell, but worse, and not anywhere I want to be a part of. I will get my revenge one day. Must.
Nate.
But now,
Stop that!
where there's ice, there is the cold.
Stop breaking the ice.
Where there's ice, there is cold.
If you want heat, there's literally a campfire over there.
It's a valid point. However, I have other business to attend to down in my base. I must leave now. However, I do appreciate our time. I do hope that you, please, for the sake of keeping the peace, keep those monsters, your Endermen, inside that tower. Because the moment they're released, our society may collapse if we're not prepared. And right now, we're not prepared. Not even me. So, be cautious.
Well,
keep them secure. Keep them enclosed.
Well,
keep them trapped.
You have fun at your base. I'm gonna go sleep now.
Goodbye.